Chapter 16. Yu Wei in front of him was 86-1, which was about the same as his elder sister. There were not many beautiful women and maids in the residence who were over 71, but they were not few either. Using His Royal Highness's terminology, it was not a technical job. Su Fengnian did not practice martial arts, but he did not dare to indulge in excessive sexual desires. He was very selective and would rather go without than have something substandard. His character was elegant. Su Fengnian busied himself for 4 hours. After eating some warm pastries in an exquisite food box, he regained his strength. He sat by the bed and slapped Yu Huakue awake again. He said coldly, "Do you want to eat buns made with Wu Meinyang's meat?" Yu Xuanji finally cried hoarsely. Su Fengnian rolled his eyes and said, "I'm lying to you. I might as well tell you the truth. If I want to vent my anger, I'll just go against you and your family. After I throw you into the lake, I'll take care of Wu Meinyang for you. She'll definitely be white and fat." She stared at Su Fengnian in a daze. Su Fengnian sneered and said, "When have I ever lied to you under the bed?" She felt wronged and said, "You're sitting on the bed right now." Su Fengnian flew into a rage out of humiliation. He suddenly stood up and said, "Mother ***, I'm going to chop Wu Meinyang into minced meat right now." Just as he stood up, he heard Yu Wei say softly, "I'll be your slave. From today onwards, I'm just Yu Wei." Su Fengnian turned around and stared at Yu Huakue, who had a dead expression, and asked, "Can I trust you?" She closed her eyes and said bitterly, "Then kill me first and then kill Wu Meinyang." Su Fengnian hesitated for a moment before releasing her hands and feet. He then moved far away from her and said, "You'll sleep here tonight. Tomorrow, I'll arrange a courtyard for you. You'll be my housewarming concubine. Don't expect a title. Without my permission, you're not allowed to walk around." She said calmly, "I miss Wu Meinyang." That night, His Royal Highness sent people to the Purple Gold House to redeem Yu Wei. Other than a white cat, nothing else was brought back to Bailiang Palace. The moon was bright and the stars were sparse. The two of them slowly walked up to the platform of the Tide Listening Pavilion, a strange combination. Su Xiao and Su Fengnian had attracted the attention of White Fox. Because the deceased Wang Fei believed in Buddhism all her life, there was a square Buddhist pagoda under the majestic platform, engraved with 8 plum blossoms. The body of the pagoda was shaped like a bowl, with a boat-shaped niche in the middle. Inside the niche, there was a Buddha sitting in a lotus position with a solemn expression. At the base of the pagoda, there were 8 stone carvings of Vajra holding up the pagoda. This building was undoubtedly the feng shui of Lingzhou city. Lingzhou lacked water, so the king of Bailiang, Su Xiao, used manpower to expand the lake into a sea, meaning water pen. The listening to the Tide Pavilion was tall and majestic, built near the water, gathering the spiritual energy of heaven and earth and absorbing the essence of the sun and moon. There were 3 horizontal plaques under the eaves of the first floor of the main pavilion. In the east, there was a plaque with 9 dragons, which was bestowed by the emperor. Before entering the pavilion, De Zhugua chuckled and said, "Saving Fengnian's life in exchange for Mr. Nangong's entry is a good deal for me." White Fox's expression was as usual, and she did not answer. When the door was pushed open, a huge white marble relief of the flying fairies of Dunhuang came into view. The flying fairies in the painting were as tall as real people. Even White Fox, who had seen a lot, was stunned for a moment. The slightly hunchbacked king of Bailiang, Su Xiao, chuckled and introduced, "In the west hall of the first floor, there are 30,000 scrolls of martial arts in the world, which are not very valuable. I just collected them to occupy a place and add to the scholarly atmosphere of the 10,000 scrolls in the house. The second floor is a secret floor. In addition to the 4,000 unique scrolls of the Yin-Yang study, there are also 49 rare weapons in the world, which is my second daughter's favorite place. On the third floor, there are 20,000 scrolls of profound secret manuals. On the fourth floor, there are some rare stones and antiques collected in the secret floor." Fengnian always scolded it for being stinky. The 5th and 6th floors are where the Jianghu heroes who risked their lives to sneak into the king's mansion are after. I believe that ordinary masters will not be able to understand anything further. As for the top floor, it is empty. Mr. Nangong, if you want to climb up and look into the distance, you can go to the White Crane Tower at the top of the mountain. White Fox's face understood the meaning of De Zhugua's words and nodded. Su Xiao narrowed his eyes and smiled. Then let's go straight to the 5th floor? White Fox's face shook her head and finally said, after going up, I may not be interested in the 60,000 scrolls on the lower floors anymore. Su Xiao was not surprised. He laughed and walked up the stairs alone, disappearing into the shadows. White Fox's face stood in front of the jade screen with 2 sabers embroidered on her waist. She was in high spirits. De Zhugua arrived at the 8th floor. The bamboo scrolls and ancient scrolls were scattered all over the floor. There was a long red sandalwood table with a flickering candle lamp on it. There was a green gourd with wine in the corner. A red string was tied to the mouth of the gourd and a skinny arm. The man sat on the floor with disheveled hair. His face was as pale as snow, and there was a touch of light red between his eyebrows. If one looked closely, it looked like an upside-down red phoenix eye. He was dressed in a linen robe and sat barefoot with his legs crossed. De Zhugua Su Xiao picked up a dozen bamboo scrolls and put them neatly. Only then did he have a place to sit down. He apologized. I came in a hurry and forgot to bring wine. I'll ask Feng Yan to make it up later. Su Xiao was obviously used to the weirdo's silence and said to himself, I can't sleep well without a real Grandmaster Master in the king's mansion. I hope this Nangong Poosh doesn't disappoint me. Speaking of which, it is strange. Spies have been investigating for half a year and have not been able to dig up this person's background. It seems that he can only be someone from Northern Han. Ishan, what rank do you think his current strength is? The skinny man opened his mouth, his voice like metal and stone. Secondary 1st rank. He has cultivated in the pavilion for 10 years, but there is no one above him. De Zhugua clicked his tongue and said, Feng Yan has picked up a treasure. The sickly man picked up the gourd and poured out the wine. There was no more wine. He immediately lost interest and stopped writing, his eyes lifeless. Su Xiao stood up and raised his head to look at the earth immortal painting on the southern wall. With his hands clasped behind his back, he frowned and said, Ishan, Feng Yan will soon be 20 years old. For the ceremony, you should present him with a courtesy name. The man thought for a moment, Su Fengyan, courtesy name Tianlang. De Zhugua Su Xiao suddenly burst into unbridled laughter, rather proud of himself.